Bitcoin is falling, crashing to prices not seen since a week ago. Is it time to panic? Have the fundamentals for Bitcoin changed dramatically? Is it all over for this bull run? Is it time to short this Ponzi down to zero? Well, if you look at the headlines today, then you may think that it's all over. But now is not the time to panic, potentially quite the opposite. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the crazy markets. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump straight in here and talk about Bitcoin. Sadly, the triangle that has been we've been watching here on the channel for the last few days has now been invalidated. Goodbye, triangle. We will miss you. That's what happens with these kind of patterns. They either break out to the upside or they get invalidated. This one has unfortunately been invalidated. So it's happened quite definitively. There's a pretty strong red candle today. So what happens now? Well, Bitcoin has not managed to hold at $30,000 as a key line of support. This was the third test of $30,000. As I mentioned yesterday, if that triangle does invalidate, then watch out for $30,000 as a key level of support. $30,000 is what we got today, and then it kept on dropping, so it was around 29,500 or so at the time of recording this video. But what I really want to see is for the daily close to happen above $30,000. So if we get the daily close for today above $30,000, not the wick down, right, but the daily close, that would actually validate $30,000 holding as support with a daily close above it. But that close is about 20 hours away from the time that you're going to be seeing this video, so a lot can happen in that time. Now, is it possible for Bitcoin to go even lower here? Anything is possible. Our next key area of support for Bitcoin is $27,500. But for now, $30,000. It has been acting as a strong area of support. If we can get that candle close back above it, it would be a good sign moving forward. Otherwise, we are continuing that downtrend and need to be looking for potentially some lower price support targets. What we are looking at this time is that, however, Bitcoin has put in two lower highs, showing that essentially the downtrend for Bitcoin is still in effect, which is really obviously reinforced by the breakdown of that bullish continuation pattern, which was the triangle. What we need to see now for Bitcoin to be considered kind of out of the downtrend, to get out of the woods, right, is for Bitcoin to close above $38,000. Until that happens, Bitcoin is going to keep consolidating. Potentially we'll see lower prices. Obviously, I do want to see 30,000 holding as that strong line of support. But for reference here too, just to give you a bigger perspective, the Bitcoin volatility chart shows that the strong phase of the bull run hasn't even started yet. So the current market structure for this chart is looking basically like the start of early 2017, right? Things are starting to move. The market had its big breakout and heat up phase, but we have not yet had the real sort of, blow off peak kind of bull run happening. The one that is going to make Bitcoin into a 6-digit asset. That's coming. That's coming. No one ever said that Bitcoin investing is easy. You will be tested constantly in this market. Those of you who make it to see a 6-digit Bitcoin, you will have undergone many trials, many tribulations, right? Hodling. It's actually a lot harder than it sounds. But if you can hold on until that point, then it's all going to be worth it. Because here's the deal. If you really believe that Bitcoin is going to be worth $100,000 or $200,000 or $1 million someday, as I do believe, then dips like this, they shouldn't be fear events. They're only opportunities to add to your position. Only a question, I guess, to ask yourself is, are you a believer or not? We're not a cult. We're not a cult, I swear to God. A big thank you to Nash for sponsoring today's episode. Nash is a decentralized exchange that operates at layer 2, which means that there are no insane fees and near instant transaction settlement. Nash gives you the performance of a centralized exchange, all while letting you keep hold of your private keys, meaning that you're always in charge of your assets. And you can use Nash to buy and sell euros with 0% fees. Now, the Nash exchange token, the NEX token, is very unique in the crypto market since it's a fully compliant security token registered with the Financial Market Authority of Liechtenstein. No other exchange has this for their token. So staking the token can give you up to a 75% revenue share of the exchange fees, which is incredible. You can see here what the potential rewards would look like using the calculator over at stakingnext.io. Since the Next token is officially a security token, not many exchanges can actually list it, but if you do want to grab some Next tokens, then you need to be looking on decentralized exchanges which can list the token. The best options for you are Switcheo and Uniswap. And the Nash Trading League Season 2 begins on January 26th, so Trading Squad registration actually starts on January 22nd, which is really, really soon. And you can also win prizes just by trading on Nash. You can be part of a squad, or you can just be a solo trader as well. The more you trade, the bigger your share of the prize. The top 100 new users each week will also share in a pool of 1,000 Next tokens as a bonus for those new users coming in. So click on the link down below to start trading on Nash today. Okay, now I want to dive in a bit more to talking about, my thoughts on the market action today. Is there actually any reason to be worried about what's going on? Is any of this abnormal that we're seeing? And the answer is no. This is all kind of basic stuff in the crypto markets. It's to be expected. I know it can be shocking, especially if you're new around here. I think the OGs, they don't really worry about any of this stuff. The bull market is not over. $42,000 was not the high watermark. 2021 is still going to be an insane year for the crypto markets. But if you do find yourself really stressing out on a day like today, then I would ask you to think about this. Plan not to feel like that again. Don't over leverage your trades. They'll get you into trouble real quick. Rebalance your portfolio regularly to lower your risk. Keep position sizes on those higher risk altcoins and stuff. Keep those position sizes small. And of course, let's put on the broken record. Take freaking profits, man. We take profits when the market is pumping, not when the market is dumping. Unfortunately, a lot of people will do the opposite. But this is essential for your long-term success in the market. You have to pay yourself. You have to take those profits out. Personally, I always feel like I didn't take enough profit when I see these dumps coming, but that's not because I'm scared that the prices won't go back up, but because it limits my options, right? If you don't have those extra chips, you can't buy the dip, right? So, that's something to keep in mind, guys. Pay yourself, take those profits, you'll sleep better at night. You really, really will. Plus, it feels so good de-risking my portfolio, which is why I routinely take profits, right? You just lower the risk, you put the money into USDC, dump it into BlockFi, and you're fine. Getting that capital back out from riskier plays, also a very wise strategy. Remember, if you never sell, then you never make a profit, right? Don't forget the old saying, nobody ever lost money taking a profit. And look, as investors, we really don't need to worry about the small time frame stuff, right? Are you here for a week, or are you here for, the long-term potential of this asset? As investors with longer-term time frames, we're looking to add to positions on dips. You buy low, you sell high. I'm certain that in the next few days, I'll be sharing lots of statistics with you about how we got, another 50 new Bitcoin whales. That's probably going to happen. How institutions came in and bought up the dip again. That's probably going to happen. How Grayscale added thousands of more Bitcoin. It's probably going to happen. In fact, look at this chart here showing the Bitcoin liquidity supply chain. So this is, Bitcoin leaving exchanges. You see record-breaking spike. The little spike over here on the far right-hand side of the chart here. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see it. That's today. That's today. That record spike is today. People are aggressively buying the dip. Meanwhile, you have the dude from Guggenheim Investments out fudding Bitcoin again, which is so typical of what we see in the market. As soon as Bitcoin starts falling, these guys, the media along with it, they all come out, say that Bitcoin's going to go much, much lower, right? We're going to go back down to $20,000. The bull run is over. Remember, this is the same guy that said that you should sell your Bitcoin at $30,000 last week. And then 3 days later, he was back on all the media shows saying, well, Bitcoin's actually going to $400,000. And if you're an investor, you should look at allocating 2% of your portfolio to Bitcoin. It's the same old trick. These guys want lower entries. It's actually, honestly, with the big BlackRock news yesterday, I think it's really considerate of us to, dump the market a bit in order to let BlackRock get a nice entry. We want them to have good exposure, right? We want BlackRock to come in, make lots of money for their investors. So it's nice of us to dump the market for them, just to let them in, right? Oh man, look. Don't forget that hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin have been bought by hedge funds and billionaires and family offices and all these guys over the last 3 weeks. We've been covering that extensively here on the show. So pay attention to that big picture. Reading my comments from the last few hours, I can see that a lot of people are getting rattled by these price drops, but here's the deal. The macro story for Bitcoin is the same today as it was yesterday, right? All those same forces are still in effect. The long-term picture has not changed. Only your perception of that picture has changed due to the fear because you're seeing a drop in the market today. Remember, fear is the mind killer. We must not fear. Anyway, your question for today. Do you think that Bitcoin is going to go much lower than $30,000 in the coming days? Or do you think we're going to find support around this level? We're going to bounce back higher? Curious to know your thoughts on the price action down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.